today's video, I'm gonna give you 6 ways you can hack the Spotify algorithm. Each of my tips will individually help you, but if you do all of them, you will really optimize your growth on your core channel, Spotify. For those joining me for the first time, my name is Rebecca Smart-Bakken, and I help musicians grow their audience and business online. Go ahead and hit subscribe to my channel, hit the bell to get notified whenever I share a new lesson about music marketing. I launch about 1 video per week, and I promise not to disappoint you. So just like any other content platform, Spotify is driven by its users uploading content to the platform. When it comes to the algorithm, it's not too dissimilar to how the Instagram algorithm works, or any other platform for that matter. All of the content platforms need a way to evaluate the content of its users' post or content. Of course, there's a lot of content getting uploaded every single second. So in order to tackle this, the algorithms were created to handle the evaluation and positioning of the content. Basically, to place the post and content in front of the right people. Both music is content and social media posts is content, right? Every platform's main goal is to keep users locked in for as long as possible. I mean, if they could keep you on Spotify 24/7, they absolutely would. Okay, so the algorithm can be very useful, and it handpicks content that it learns we like to consume. There's also been some negative social and behavior aspects as a result of it as well. I mean, I'm sure we've all watched The Social Dilemma on Netflix by now. Okay, so I'm not gonna go down that route today, but I would really like your thoughts on it in the comments. Okay, so now that we know the platforms are designed this way, we need to work with the algorithms and cater to its needs. Give it what it wants and benefit from increased visibility and streams in return. So with this in mind, it's crucial that musicians have a good understanding of how the algorithm works. With this knowledge, you can plan your launch strategy strategically and start your campaign with a visibility boost to help you get onto bigger playlists and start generating some serious streams. First thing you need to do is get a pre-save link. So what's unique about Spotify is that there actually are a few hacks you can do before your content goes live on the platform. It's so important that you follow all of this if you really want to build momentum right away so you can start trending on the algorithm. We all know the result that you get immediately after publishing something, content on Instagram or song on Spotify. The initial response matter. So by getting people to pre-save your song, you're then lining people up to then get that initial boost. So the work here starts beforehand. It certainly doesn't work like that on any other platform, such as Instagram, as you are directly reliant on the reactions you get the second you post. So if you use one of the bigger distributors like DistroKid or CD Baby, you will have the option of creating this pre-save link. This is important because you can basically have a line waiting by the door for you when you open, and you will instantly get streams. Like with every other content platform, the visibility and momentum you create right after you post, launch, go live matters. On Instagram, the algorithm will measure the interactions and time spent on your content and will push it accordingly. They will also see who viewed it so they can push it to more of those people. The same goes for Spotify. As you are an upcoming artist, you may not have a hardcore fan base or following yet that will instantly check out your music the second it comes out. So the pre-save is really going to help you with this. Getting people to pre-save your song will then push it to them on the release date, and you're right off the bat starting off with traction and visibility on your track. Okay, but how do you get someone to pre-save it? This is done through social media. and should be incorporated into your content plan. No, not just promoting it. You need to tell your story and make people interested. You can even get people involved. For example, give away free merch to one person who pre-saves and run a competition around it to build up hype. The more people you get on to pre-save, the better. Storytelling and getting people involved works as well. I mean, if you have lyrics in your music, you're probably telling stories and sharing value through your lyrics. Extend this before your release so you can start the conversation before. I mean, let's say you're writing a song about the current situation in America. Start the conversation on your socials before. Tell them you've written a song about this and share some of the value to get them involved. I mean, this could be a simple video of you introducing it, starting the conversation and telling them to pre-save it at the end to get the continuous story. Start promoting and build hype. Also, bonus, you'll receive the email addresses of the users who pre-save your track. And email addresses are the gold of marketing. I covered this already in this video. Check that out. Email addresses should be one of your most important metrics, as it's one of the most efficient ways to communicate with your fans when you want to convert them over to paying fans. So getting the emails of the pre-save will be a huge value in the future. Then you need to get people to follow you. When you get people to follow you on Spotify, you have the chance of appearing on their release radar playlist. And you might have a spot on the weekly email that goes out to the user. Getting on to your followers' release radar will also boost the immediate traffic that you get right away with your music. Remember, if we can boost straight away, the algorithms will help us further. So by getting people to follow you, you will increase the visibility of your song right away. However, how do you get people to follow you on Spotify? You simply need to give them a reason to do so, right? You need to have a professional presentation of yourself. Not an incomplete profile. Complete your profile, guys, seriously. You need to show that you are consistent with your music. Basically start having a music library. If you do not have a library, have other content they can access, such as your own curated playlist. I made a video about that here that will help you in creating playlists as a marketing activity to generate some traffic on your Spotify before you release music. I mean, as you're building your music library now, you may need to give them some other reasons to follow you. I mean, for example, if they go to your profile and they see one song that was released last year, why would they follow you, right? Many of my students don't have music released yet, so they create weekly or monthly playlists they push to their fan bases on other channels, so they can start moving people over to Spotify and start building up their following. So give people a reason to follow you and tell them to follow you as well across your other channels. You need to ask to receive, right? Then you need to submit to editorial playlist at least 4 weeks in advance. Okay, so the work on hacking the algorithm starts when you upload your song through your distributor. So Spotify does not work with just any distributor. So make sure that you choose one that is a preferred distributor of Spotify. Having an artist page is crucial for the algorithm. When you create your artist page, you need to complete your profile. I already went through that, right? And make sure that you get the verification mark, that blue tick. Having an incomplete profile is really going to hurt you in the progress with the algorithm. Also, you need to make sure that you link to all of your other socials as well. Even your Wikipedia, your website, link out to your worlds. If your song is not on Spotify yet, you need to push your distributor to upload it onto Spotify. So you need to have your song uploaded to Spotify several weeks before the release date in order to really optimize the algorithm. If you start as early as 4 weeks in advance, you can then submit your song to the Spotify editorial playlists. So when you fill out the submissions forms for the playlist, make sure that you select the genres and the moods for the song, but more importantly, be Be really strategic in how you write the description. So most musicians just describe the song in music language and get really nerdy here, right? This description is actually a pitch. So imagine pitching this song to someone who isn't necessarily a musician. I mean, include, if you have any other playlist placements, press or anything like that, as this is going to give you some authority right away. Also include the story and value of the song, as well as who your audience is. So make sure that you have a clear understanding of who your audience is and present them professionally. Make it easy for the editors to place your song. Almost do their thinking for them by including keywords and niche areas. You do all of this through your Spotify for Artists page. If you do not have access to this right now because a label published your music or you haven't claimed it through Spotify, make sure you get on it right now. You also need to promote on social medias. So when somebody follows you on social media, they want to hear more about you in addition to your music. If they just want to listen to your music, they would go directly to Spotify and listen there, right? But if somebody follows and engages with you on social media, they are on the way to becoming a fan. By consistently sharing content through your channels and engaging with followers, you can also give some real estate to push traffic to your Spotify and the song you've launched. You can use social media before your track is out to get people to pre-save. And when it's live, you can use social media to push traffic over to your Spotify. As you know, the 80-20 rule needs to be applied here. So if you only use your social media channels to promote, there's not enough value in what you're giving out for people to remain interested. You need to give 80% value. This is personality, identity, where you don't ask for anything else in return, but just share and engage with your fans. While the remaining 20% can be strategically used to promote your single launches. So start creating some video content where you introduce the song and create some previews so you can start building the hype. You should start building the momentum a few weeks before by getting people to pre-save and get people introduced to the project. You can, for example, show some behind the scene footage of you finishing the track or a creative decision that you made. Since you can do limited salesy posts, remember 80-20 rule, a good way to share more content is to use the story function or go live. The more personal you can make it, the better. If you can move traffic from other channels over to your Spotify, you will then increase the page visits on your profile, streams on your tracks, as well as increase your followers. I mean, I'm sure you've seen the start of the successful YouTube videos, people telling viewers to go, subscribe, hit the bell, telling them what to do. You should adopt something similar in your approach. I know it's salesy and spammy, but try to find a way to do it in your own style because it works. It will increase your metrics and more people will follow. The more traffic you receive on your Spotify profile, the better, which means people are spending time on your profile and content. I mean, this is good for the algorithm, right? So try to find ways to move people to your Spotify every week consistently from your channels. Then you show the algorithm you're getting a steady flow of traffic on your page. This could be as simple as publishing a weekly playlist to your audience so they head over to your profile and spend time there. You should also be using ads. Every musician should allocate a small budget per single release to set up ads. You can even use ads before you launch to get people to pre-save so you can increase the initial boost on launch day. If you want to use Facebook or Instagram ads to push traffic over to your Spotify, you need to go in and create the ads through the Facebook Ads Manager. When you're there, select website traffic as the goal and start building your ad. Insert the Spotify URL to the song or pre-save, then create a video where you might perhaps introduce the value of the song, either by including the value and story in the caption and just a preview of the song in a video, Or include an intro where you showcase the value, then show a preview, then a call to action to tell them to stream the whole song on Spotify. I mean, try out different things here and see what works when it comes to the content. Another area that you should play around with the ads is the audiences, and create 2 different audiences. The first one is your custom audiences, which are basically the ones who have already interacted with you, while the other is complete strangers. The reason that you need to separate these when you run ads is that you will most likely pay a lot less for an interaction from someone who has already interacted with you previously versus a complete stranger. So first, set up a custom audience, maybe whoever's interacted on your Instagram or Facebook, or your website through your Pixel. Second, then set up a lookalike audience based on the custom audience and use this in targeted geographically location. For example, you can go into your analytics on Spotify and see which locations your listeners are located. Then target those areas with your lookalike audience. But you will most likely pay a lot more to get a stranger over to your Spotify versus somebody who has seen you before. Start with a small budget. Even $5 per day gets you a ton of visibility on Instagram and Facebook. And when you see a recipe that works with your audience, the content you've made, then I would increase the budget and start seriously boosting. What you will see when you start getting a consistent flow of traffic on your song and profile is that you will then start getting more organic visibility as well. Last hack, which is not a hack, but you need to be consistent. So the biggest hack with any platform is actually to be consistent with sharing content. The platform all values consistency over frequency. I mean, this has really changed the music industry, right? And how they launch music. I mean, you see a lot of big projects scattered over longer time frames on a continuous basis when artists are launching music these days. The world has changed and people want things straight away. People don't want to wait around for years for new music to be launched. Since the streaming platforms values consistency, musicians are focusing more on distributing less, but more often. If you can schedule a launch every other month, you are good. It leaves enough time to promote before and after. Then you will start building your music library. And when someone lands on your profile, you have a lot of content for them to check out. When people see consistency in your launches, they see recent dates on your latest tracks. It makes you relevant. I mean, take a look at the Latin artists right now who are killing it with their content production. They launch new songs, remixes, and collabs every month. They're giving the platform both frequent content as well as consistency. The algorithm will be super happy and is giving them the listeners in return. Like any other content platform or social media, you need to play by the rules. You need to cater for the algorithm. With just a few adjustments to your approach, you can really create some crazy good visibility on your account and reach new fans across the whole world. So there you have it, 6 ways that you can hack the Spotify algorithm. Now go and do them all and let me know how it worked for you in the comments. If you like what you saw here today, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next week. Now go hack the Spotify algorithm.